Alright guys, if you've previously watched this video and watching it again, this is a alteration to what we've previously said. The actual video will continue after this. We've just took it down, recropped it into this, put this bit in front of it basically, and re-uploaded it. But yeah, we
cocked up. Right, we did. We cocked up substantially in this review. You will see what happens and what we're talking about, but basically we claim that the centre pin is non-adjustable in this. We even state it'd be nice if it had one like the Bargois. It has got one like the Bargois, alright. I do want to point out, it wasn't just us being dicks and not noticing it. It took a lot of effort to get it undone, involving pliers and swearing, and a good half hour of my time to get it to the point where the centre pin would undo. But the centre pin is now adjustable and will therefore fit the atomizer on. I suppose whilst we're here we could do the drop test, because we didn't do that in a review because we couldn't get the tanker meter to connect.
Yeah, you got the tanker meter?
Yeah, we'll do the drop test for you guys.
Obviously you'll see when we go for our 5-point hit list later on in the video, you'll see that we kind of slate it a little bit on our marks for not having the adjustable 510. Obviously ignore them all now. This is now adjustable, and there are 10s across the board, and the mod is a 10 itself out of the box. The only thing that is a slight downfall is that with the version we've got here is that you might need to get some pliers on there to actually get that initial adjustable screw it inside to actually release. So
right, with a monkey 4.08, usually we use the Sonys. We're not quite sure how these monkeys and Sonys compare to each other, but 3.8, 3.74. It's getting worse. Right, okay, we were sitting around 3.75 now, so 0.3 of a drop on this monkey. I don't know how well they perform compared to the Sonys. I suppose I should stop being lazy as soon as we fucked up and go and get one. 1 second, guys.
Yeah, so obviously guys, anything you are going to hear about the 510, all the values change now. We do cock up every now and then, but normally it's just like small stuff.
This was enough for us to have to do this, we think anyway. Yeah,
we didn't want to take down our review because we're not sorry that we put up the wrong review, but we are sorry we got it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of one of them ones, we did it, it's there, we want you to see that we did it wrong, because we are human, we were not infallible.
4.03 on the Sony.
Is that full of, got better charging, is it?
It's 4.03.
Oh.
It's just 3.81. So it's actually dropping off slightly less on this Sony. Not by much though, to be honest with you. It's up and down. It's around 3.75 for the drop off from a 4.5-ish. So we're talking 0.3 of a drop. Which in its defence, I mean, to be honest with you, it's not like the brass cheese and that stuff when it's brand new. But this has been used a fair bit compared to what they were when we initially tested them. And also, because of the design, you've got a lot of crap going on there. I don't think 0.3 of a drop through there is bad at all, to be honest. It feels like it hits very hard.
No, it's because of the module that it's dropping so drastically compared to like the cheese and that. I guarantee if this was literally straight connection without the module in there, if they release that bottom button switch, which we'll get into later, it will probably jump back up to where the cheese are and that. So overall, very good mod.
Yes, it is, and you will see that in the review. Just be aware, guys, anything that relates to the centre pin, the fact it doesn't adjust, the fact that how much that pisses me off, or the fact that how much I try, I couldn't get it to move. It does in fact move, and also ignore the tip for making your centre pin higher, because if you do that, you're just damaging the mod now.
Yeah.
Pair of dicks.
Right guys, it's gonna go back into the normal intro now of us going, hey guys, and then you'll see the actual review. To know what our reviews, I'm Worm, and this is the Proton. Today we're going to be doing a mechanical mod that Mr. Proton brought from FastTech.com, or Snailtech as it's quite commonly known on our Facebook page. So yeah,
there you go. What we're doing today, guys, is the Atmomixani 69 clone from FastTech Dingle. Is what it is. £14.92, guys, delivered from FastTech for the clone. Lovely stuff. What we're going to do is get it out of the way with and run into a quick close-up, and then we're going to come back up to us and do our normal. Guys, a quick little close-up of the 69 clone from FastTech Dingle. So obviously just a quick brush over, guys. I'm going to have a quick look before we start taking things apart. Yeah, here's what it is. We'll start, where should we start? We'll start at the bottom. Okay, let's take the bottom part off, we'll leave the head for after. So, telescopic tube, guys, lovely stuff. Obviously take all your battery configurations. You've got a stainless steel sort of satin finisher out here, and you've got a polished finish on the inside. Threads are okay, nothing major. At the bottom here you've got two channels or holes or whatever you want to cut out, I suppose, for your venting if it was to vent. And then right at the very bottom you've got a very thin bottom slash stuff and things, but bottom cap. What you've got there is that basically a fixed pin there, and at the bottom you've got your choo-choo train, your by Atmomixani, and your 0309 serial on that, so that's fairly easy stuff. It's tube, nothing really complicated about this. We'll get into more complicated bits now, I guess. It's a Kleiner 69, guys. If you're familiar with 69 you'll know what we're about to get into, but if not then we'll get into it now. We'll start with the top, which I now need to put back on there so I can pull it off. Okay, at the very top you've got your 510 and you've got your airflow there, same as the Nemesis. To be honest with you, I mean the O-ring's fairly slack on that. You can get it on quite nicely without too much issue, twist it without too much issue, but I've always found that these air feed systems don't actually work very well. That's just me though. 510, lovely stuff. We'll undo that, down into your bottom of your 510. It is adjustable, but we'll go back into that as well, I guess, in a second. So I'll plonk that down there. Then you've got your module just there. Okay, so basically how it works is you push, and obviously there you go, make your connection. You've got your positive connection here. What you've got to do is give this a spin, like so, like that, and that's now activated. So obviously when you've got that sat in there, it makes a connection between the one at the bottom and the one at the top, which is actually that. Push across, that makes your connection, giving you activation on your mod. We'll get into this now. The problem with this mod, and it's a big one, here's your connection for down here. That's absolutely fine. If you look how deep in that connection is, okay, on that's at its highest point. Okay, the connection can't actually be any higher than that, and it is very far down. I mean, to put it into perspective, if I can find the mod, very limited on the amount of mods you can use this on, because that's how far we've got to have our connection out to make a connection with that. It's not unachievable with some atomizers, but for example K-Fun, it's never working on this without a modification, and a lot of other atomizers the same. So you're going to have to kind of live with that, guys, and be happy with it or not. I mean, I imagine it's going to be revamped being FastTech because the amount of people that are going to complain about it, but there you go, that is what it is. Just going inside here, guys, you've got a little spring obviously giving you your push back to deactivate the mod, an O-ring stopping it making contact with outside the body, a bit of dowering in there as well. These contacts silver plated, so I mean the connection should be nice. The screw there, fairly pointless to be honest with you, but that is what it is, and you've got dowering insulating that there. Now obviously being the 69, if you're not familiar with it then I'll show you why it's called the 69. If you are, then awesome sauce. So basically what we're going to do is 69, top cap on here like that on there we go, get the friend to buy it, and then that on there. Now that would be your mod in the traditional sort of top firer. Okay, so you push your button and you're away. What you can do with that though is unscrew the module, unscrew the top cap, screw your top cap directly into your top. So let's grab the tube just a little bit because I can, and then what you do is you now screw this plate into here, which is easier said than done when you're on camera. There you go, screw that into there, and then screw that into there, and you've now got a pinky firer. So awesome idea, obviously not nothing to do from FastTech, it's a clone, but it's a very good idea, I like it. The only issue I've got really with this, I mean, one, the pinky fire is very low, it does feel very low. I know it's a pinky fire, but even for your pinky it doesn't feel necessarily natural for me to use when I'm using it. But the main one I've got is that, hello, let me just set it back up into your normal construction, or what I would usually run it in, and this is the reason why I would usually run it in this construction. One, I prefer the button at the top, obviously, as I just said, it doesn't feel quite natural down the bottom, but I'm not a big fan of that at the bottom without any playing it whatsoever. Now a lot of people, and there are a lot of them out there, I can be one of them at times, over tighten batteries. And if I just remove this all the way, obviously you're pushing that battery straight onto that. And yeah, if you have a script, and there will be people out there that do, yeah, there's a chance you fucking your battery basically. Threads on this are minimalistic, pretty much nothing there. You've got a nice, like say, polished satin, polished button kind of look. I've been running it with a Pulse G clone on top of it purely because it's got a massively adjustable centre pin, but without any modification, then that's definitely going to be an issue for anyone out there who's hoping to use K-funds, which, let's face it, is the most popular 22mm atomizer, and this is a 22mm mod. You are well and truly out of luck. Also, although you've got these kind of rivets around the outside or whatever, you're not going to get air feed really to a flush device on this. Because of that, obviously, so I don't really see, I'd rather have them flush. I know that's the 69's kind of thing and not the clone, but still, just throwing it out there. The node section around here, if you have a very close look, just there you can see them 2 dots. That is actually where your air paths are. There you see them. Just if I put it off, you'll probably be able to see them a little bit better, but there you go. That's actually where your air paths are, so you haven't actually got to take it off to find out where they are, which is cool, because the Nemesis didn't have that, and you had to remove it to find out where your holes were, and on here you know where they are. Barring that, fairly simple stuff. I'm a massive liar. Worm's just throwing this Nemesis. I swear mine didn't have that. What, my stainless steel?
Mine hasn't it?
I'm pretty sure mine didn't. Might be me being a little bit racist towards the Nemesis, but it's because I hate it. But that is what it is. There you go, shows how much I was paying attention. Did you not do the close up for that? Yes, you did. That'd be why I wasn't. Yeah. I pay no attention to that mod, to be honest with you. But there you go, that is what it is. Locking switch can be a little bit tough, but nothing major. It's just one of them things. That was a very quick close-up of the 69 and a bit of incorrect information about Nemesis. We'll come back up to us now, guys, and have a little flape.
Alright guys, that was the up close of the 69 mod. Obviously telescoping mechanical mod. Stainless steel in most parts. Yeah, it's just a little description on the page. There is minor parts may not be stainless steel, so
there you go. It doesn't say brass though, it just says not SS, so it could be Ali, for example. That centre tube could be Ali. It feels very light, much like the Astro. A few things about the close-up. Obviously you see the connection issues with the 510, not great. Silver plated contacts though, so that's kind of good. As you see in the close-up, if you're looking at the bottom of the, let me just see if I can get it off. It's always the one you want that don't want doing it. If we get it off, you've got there a little insulator, the black one. You could sand that down. Someone was saying they sanded theirs down, and that had solved the problems. So that's just an idea for you, as opposed to looking for a new pin or serious modification. That's thanks to one of the guys who did left a review on the FastTech. We bruised over it and it was there. So sand down insulator. Very simple idea, which means of course I wouldn't have thought about it because I like to complicate everything. So yeah, but if you sand down that insulator, the guy's saying that it sorts it out. You're only going to get about another mil and a half, but sometimes that's all it takes. And I did have to have a look then as well, but I looked before. The contact itself, even if you sand it insulator down so it's flush, would still not be touching any of that body, which is obviously exactly what you want. You don't want it touching that body. There you go. Other than that, I mean, up and down and the up close, to be honest with you, everything's as it should be. It's a 69 mod clone. The switch itself is a little bit stiff to sort of turn on and off. To
be honest, I don't see that as an overly bad thing, because if it's a little bit stiff to turn on, it means like when you if it's in your pocket, which we don't recommend you doing, we recommend you get cases, but if it is in your pocket, walking around, and that some of the looser locking rings that do twist have been known to undo. The fact that it's a little bit stiff means it's less likely to happen on this mod, so it's not an overly bad thing, just something to get used to more than anything.
Indeed, definitely. As the 69 is 22mm, we're a fan of 22mm stuff, guys. You know this, just there's a lot of stuff, in particular our go-to sort of vapes would be K-funds, and they're 22mm, so it's nice to get something that will fit. On that note though, this with a K-fund does look incredibly sexy, because you've got the polished and you've got the satin or matte kind of finish on it. The K-fund just goes straight on top and you're away really.
No matter which one you've got, either the polished or the matte version.
If you've got the 3.1, I mean if you've got the clone as well from FastTech, you've got the polished and the 3.1, if you've got both you can mix and match them tubes and it'd be kind of like a blended thing going on this little mod, so awesome stuff. 350, 650, 500, all battery configurations considered. You're not going to get a kick in this though with the 650. You may do with a 500. I haven't tested it, given me a kick or did a trade with me kicks. I don't want to test, so can't give you the. We're not going to lie, we haven't got the information for you there, guys. It's just sloppy. Just reading from the site here, it says adjustable airflow ring at the top. Even now, when it's actually sitting flush, it is still adjustable. It's sitting slightly under. It's fractional, but it's still completely adjustable, which is nice. I don't really use any bottom fatties, but for those of you who do, it's there. It's what you need, and it's been considered. Obviously, these weren't the creators of this mod, so it weren't them considered it, but they've included it. Lovely. Unique serial number. 0309, so I suppose it's not too high, but I'd imagine it's not going to be long before you've got 9472. Unique, yes. Relevant, not really. But it's silver plate contacts, as we said, guys. Love the silver plate contacts. The Nemesis clone from FastTech hits like an absolute champ with silver plate contacts. Unfortunately, just not quite long enough on some batteries.
Obviously, you got to take out your beauty ring on the actual Nemesis to actually fit some of your smaller batteries, but even then, it can be a bit of iffy. But back to the 69, obviously you got laser engraving for the actual logos, which is always good. Rather be engraved rather than printed, obviously, because there's a chance of that coming off. And will house all your battery configurations really, because it's telescoping.
Indeed. Obviously in 350 you're not going to get it super small because you've got your module there, but you have got the advantage obviously with this that you can make it a pinky, you can make it a thumb firer. I mean, short of being able to make it a bottom button, there's nothing more you can do to this. I mean, to be honest with you, they could make this a bottom button. It wouldn't be something like an, you know, like the Skeleton 19 switch? Yeah. Imagine if that was like a Skeleton 19 switch, in addition. You've got your top cap there making a constant connection. This could, they could do that. I don't know why they haven't, because that to me makes sense.
They could release an extra switch that you could buy.
Imagine that, a switch with 69 on the bottom, with it boom boom, probably because you can engrave it there, but still if they stuck that engraving on the body and give you, so you could have a bottom firer, a pinky and a top.
You can still have the engraving on the bottom of the button.
Yeah, I suppose you could.
It would just be a replaceable instead of putting that one in there.
Yeah, you could have it as a slightly different logo or whatever, but that completely irrelevant, doesn't exist, but how awesome would that be to have the choice between a bottom firer, a top and a pinky with silver contacts in all configurations? That would be the shit. So yeah, Atmomixani, get on it so they can clone it. Laser engraved Atmomixani logo, which Worms just said. As a laser engraved is always nice. I can't really say any more than that, to be honest. Like I say, better than being printed, as Worms said, because well, print comes off, doesn't it? Laser engraved and laser etched is not as likely to. Other than that, to be honest, there's no real fantastic details on the website. It's
just a telescoping mod. Let's be honest, it's a telescope mod clone that it's a good looking design, because obviously the 69 is very sought after, and it pretty much goes out of stock no matter where you buy it. Similar with the Nemesis. It's one of those ones. It seems to be harder to get hold of than the actual Nemesis itself, because obviously there's many different styles of the Nemesis where there is only one 69 or two if you include the clone.
You fancy 69? Do you know what you're saying?
Yeah, I do quite like the 69. I do want one. I do. I really want one. I love my K-Phone. The K-Phone on this, sexy bitch.
Sexy bitch.
Sexy bitch. All I need is some sexy bitch juice. I'm all good. That is Sex on the Beach, by the way. I've had it before. It's actually quite nice.
There you go. Random. Now, as you're seeing, guys, I'm having a pain in the arse issues here. Now, this is because of that silly positive pin, and because I haven't sent the contact down like the bloke recommended on FastTech reviews. Just because I live life on the edge. But
so we're going to a 5 point.
We are back to firing.
Right, let's go straight into our 5 point hit list. Looks. It looks like the same as a proper 69. Let's be honest. It does all the same. It looks the same. It's got all the logos. It's a 10. It's a 10 on looks. It's really funky, and the fact that you can change the configuration for top and bottom. Awesome stuff.
Looks for me, I'm going to give it a 10. I really like the way it looks. I didn't think I was going to like the 69 on the button. It's nowhere near as garish as it looks in the pictures. But yeah, looks, obviously, again, credit is not to this really, but it goes to Atmomixani. But yeah, no, looks, love it. I think it's awesome looking. So yeah, it's definitely going to get a 10 for me. I think it's very good.
Usability. It's the same as any other mechanical mod. I mean, you've got the actual switch system in there, really. That's the only thing that could possibly go wrong. Plus, with it out-modifying this, the clone version anyway, you might have a little problem with some atomizers, so that may take down usability with certain atomizers. But with the atomizers that connect, it's going to be the same as any other mechanical, really. But for the ones that don't, if they are the ones that you want to use on it, it's going to irk you. So as long as it's working with the atomizer you intended to buy it for, or the range of atomizers you've got, if it works on all of them, it's going to be a 10 for you. If it's going to be one of those ones where you've got like half your atomizers don't work on it, it's going to drop. Let's be honest. I mean, it's going to drop to whatever, how much it annoys you. To be honest, as long as it works on my K-Fun, I couldn't care less. Whatever it does on anything else, because the K-Fun would be on there permanently.
There you go. Usability for me. I mean, you've got the centre pin issue, which makes this mod pretty much unusable with 90% of atomizers, which knocks it off. But you have got that sort of sand the insulator off. You're getting a clone for less than 15 quid. You've got to expect to put a bit of effort in now and again with these things. So yes, it's a pain in the arse. It knocks usability down, but I'm not going to consider it in, guys, because we're making you wear this now. Hopefully they fix it. If not, though, buy it knowing you may have to sand that insulator or replace a screw in it. And replacing a screw in this could be a trouble. Yeah, other than that, mechanical mod, doesn't it? You charge a battery, stick it in, it's telescoping, take any battery configuration, flat top, nipple top and all the rest of them. And you've got the option then to put it as pinky fire or top fire, and if they listen to us, a button firing system and all. So, usability for me is getting a 10 purely because of the options it's got.
Maintenance. Clean your contacts, charge your battery. If you do need to adjust or sand down or modify this to work on the device you're doing it with, yeah, if you're going to tweak this and actually get a little bit tinkery with it, it's probably going to drop to like a 5 until you've tinkered it, and then it'll be a 10. But if it works on the device you're buying it for, it's going to be a 10 out of the box. It's just, it works. Keep the contacts clean, charge a battery really.
There you go. Maintenance for me, yeah, charging your battery, checking it in, keeping your contacts clean, rubbing off the body now and again of dirt and stuff. This is no more difficult in terms of maintenance than any other mechanical mod. Take for example the Nemesis clone, it's no more difficult than that, to be honest with you, to maintain. You have got the switch mechanism in there, and now and again, as you see me, you have a little connection issue, and that usually is because if you flip the switch 180, so when it's connected, you flip it 180, it's connecting again, but the connections are slightly different, and they sometimes work better one way round than they do another. So that's what it is basically. I tend to run it with the slotted one up. There you go, just that's what it is. But yeah, 10.
Build quality and price. Price is always a 10 from FastTech, unless it's actually a device that doesn't work. If it works, it's a 10. The price it's unbeatable anywhere. You just got to wait for it. So as long as you don't mind the wait, the price is irrelevant really. It's a 10. The build quality of this, the threads are good. The 510 is a bit of an issue if on certain devices. Obviously we did say it's quite a lot of them because it is quite deep in there, but if they fix that 510 issue with the centre pin, it's a 10. At the moment, because you've got to modify it out of the box, it's still an 8. Because it's only minor issues you've got to adjust there. I mean, if you want to do it properly, you're going to have to get out some like screws and get that, heat the screws up and screw them in properly and get them to the right place.
You've also got the screw, you've got the connection comes off, and the one that comes at the bottom, it's got a skirt to stop it going too far. It's going to be a bitch.
If you do want to modify it properly, if you just if the sanding down the actual dowering and inside the insulator that works for you, then all good. It's a 5-minute job, you know. It's nothing. It's minimal modding. So it's kind of, it does take a hit on the build quality because of that 510 issue, but it's not massive. It just depends how much you want to modify it to get it to work on everything.
There you go.
So
build quality and price. The price, again, as well said, it's a 10 from FastTech. It always is a 10. Let's face it, you're paying like a pound or whatever it is. 15 quid for a mech though. And to be honest with you, it's built well. It feels nice and weighty. The screw threads are good. The only issue really is like that 510 pin as stock. And if you're willing to modify it, awesome. If you're not, then you're going to have trouble. It's as simple as that. I'm going to give the price a 10. I'm going to give the build quality for that price a 10. But I'm going to give the overall build quality in general a 7, because that's a big oversight for people to not look at it when it's finished and go, that 510 connection looks a bit low. Yeah, so the build quality is going to take a knock overall because of that.
It would be nice if like the modification they do to this is on the inside, leave the bottom side so it's obviously still connecting to when you press the fire button, but on the inside of the actual 510 maybe make just the inside of that bit actual spring loaded or something. It's just like it pops up, but you can still screw down as far as it could do before. So if you haven't got any like really long 510 protruding positive pins on your atomizers and that, it will still push all the way down for them perfectly, but it's going to adjust to your other devices as well. That would be nice. Either
that or like the bar graph 4500 I've got over there, where it's unscrew and screw it up from the actual top inside the 510. That'd work as well.
Yeah, or screw from the top. Yeah,
that'd work.
That would work quite nicely. Either of them would be a perfect fit and means no modding for anyone.
Indeed, it's just a little oversight that needs to be corrected, and I'd imagine they're going to receive people moan about it, and it will be eventually.
Oh, there'll be a version 2 out of it soon.
Yeah. The version 2 of the clone, version 1.
But yeah, overall, I'm going to give it a 9. I'm not giving this one a 10 because I know it's got 10s quite a lot across the board, but that 510 issue is and can be a big issue depending on what atomizers you actually own. So for that alone, you've got to give it. It's just, if it works on your device, it's going to be a 10 for you. You're going to love it, and it's going to be out of the box beautiful. But those devices that don't work on, it's going to annoy you to anything because you can't just quickly adjust it, sort of thing, like any other adjustable 510. So a 9.
Here you go. For me, overall, all things considered, I mean, it's a shame because it's such a small thing to have an issue with, but it's such a big issue. So I'm going to give it a 7 overall. I wouldn't recommend buying it as it is now unless you're willing to modify it, because it probably isn't going to work with what you want to stick on top of it. K-Funds, K-Fund clones, DRI-XLs, IW3s, any of the 22mm drippers, anything that you think is 22mm that look lovely, probably not going to work. Saying that, the Pulse G, I bought the Pulse G clone from there. That's got such an adjustable centre pin. That will work if the 510 was down here. So that's got a massive adjustment in it, so it will work with that, and we've got it working with this Aqua because the pin in that can be quite extended as well. But it is going to take a monumental hit because of that, because it's not something we can recommend as stock for everyone.
Wait for the next version or the updated of this version anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know whether Sandy Insulated Down works, then jump onto the Facebook, because I'm going to do that in the next couple of days, and I'll post on Facebook to let people know that it does or it does not work, and I've either ruined my mod right now, I'm even more in love with it. Because what I do like this mod. I think it's very, very nice. I think it's great. It hits incredibly hard. How hard? Couldn't tell you. Tank emitter won't reach the pin. So we can't tell the exact drop off. As much as I'd like to, but again, if that insulator works, send that down, that will then make it so we can do that test, and again we'll post that to the Facebook, just purely because it's not worth doing a video on it. But yeah, overall for everyone, not recommended. For anyone who's going to do a slight modification, definitely recommended. This thing's a little beautiful for 15 quid. It looks awesome. It's got options that you don't get anywhere else really, for in terms of what your preference is, and not just that, but you can switch between them preferences. So awesome. Bottom frame button even better. But yeah, I think I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's great. I think Worm likes it a lot, so much so I wish she had one.
I will be buying one.
There you go.
But I will probably wait for the modified 510 because
you ain't got to do that.
If I don't have to, I won't. I mean, if no other version comes out, I'll probably buy it and modify it, but I'll give it a month or two and see if they come out with a better version of it. So
there you go.
I'm prepared to wait 4 weeks for delivery anyway, so I might as well wait 2 months for us to get a device that's going to be working out of the box for everything. Indeed.
Obviously it's a clone. We've had our clone rants in the past. Refer to several other videos if you want to, but we don't care. We're going to keep doing the reviews. So yeah, that is what it is, guys. If you want one, grab one. If you're doing a bit of modifying, if you're not willing to modify, it's FastTech. There's about 4 billion other mods in there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Mr. Proton. This has been the Worm.
We'll see you soon.